Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mike Hermes at MH Tutorials, and today we're going to do a little animation test. Okay, so what are we up to? What I want to do is I want to create a tent that will interact with wind. Okay, so what I did so far, and I'll just kind of take this apart so you can see it. It's really basic. Okay, what I did is I took two polygon toruses, created one there and one there, and I created a couple of polygon pipes and set them up like so. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that up and I'm going to select that whole thing. All right. I'm going to go up to mesh and combine. So that's one article. Okay. Now what I did down here is I took a polygon pipe, dragged it out, dragged it up, took out a couple of faces and created that opening. All right. So good with that. And for this part here, I took a polygon a cone and dragged that out. Okay. Now, what's really important when you're doing this, make sure you have enough subdivisions, because when we apply nCloth to this, it has to be able to bend. Okay. So make sure you have enough here as well. Okay, that's really important. Okay, so let's go back to our setup. I'm just going to pull that back up. Just check it from my front view here. Okay, something like that. Now, what we're going to start off with is we are going to select that material. Okay, we're going to go to N Dynamics, like so. We got that selected. We're going to go to N Mesh, and we're going to select Create nCloth, like so. All right, and as you can see, the color is changing. All right. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to right click on that. We're going to go to Vertex. We're going to drag select the top row like that. And we're going to shift drag select the bottom row like that. When we got those selected, we're going to go up to End Constraint and Transform. All right. And the next thing, we're going to select our object. We're going to go to Fields and hit Gravity. All right. Now that should be okay. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to do the same with our top here. But before we can do that, we need to move it into place. So we're going to move that down. Check that from this view here. Okay. We're going to bring that down just a little. Now, one thing I want to do that we didn't do yet, so I quickly have to adjust that, is this pole here, I want that to extend that upwards. So I just need to fix that. So we'll be able to create a flag in there. So I'm just going to move that out of the way for a sec. Just going to hit F to zoom in. All right. I'm going to right click, go to edge, double click on that edge. All right. And we're just going to hit W and we're going to pull that up. And we'll push it down in a sec. Okay. Take that guy. We're going to move that back to the middle. So set the translate values to 0 to make it nice and centered, like so. Switch to your side view. I'm going to pull that up to something like that. That looks good. And the pole up there, that's fine. All right. Okay, so we got that. Now let's do with this guy. We're going to do pretty much the same thing. We're going to select our object. We're going to go to End Dynamics menu, and Mesh, create nCloth. All right. And we're going to select that again. We're going to switch to this view here, our side view. And we're going to make sure that these vertices at the bottom here, that they are fixed. So let's take this one here. Right click, vertex, drag select that row. All right. Go up to End Constraint and Transform. And we're going to go up here to select our object, right click vertex. We'll take these and we're going to do the same. Okay, and constraint and transform. We're going to select our objects, we're going to go to fields, and we're going to select gravity. All right, so they're all set up. Now it's important when this cloth starts to interact with our frame that it's not going to go straight through the frame. All right, so for that we made that one object. We select that, and we're going to go up to let me see, and mesh and create passive collider. Okay, now just for the fun of it, we're going to throw on some materials. So I'm going to select my frame, right click, assign new material. We'll call that a Lambert, and let's make that, I don't know, blue, something like that. Okay, and we're going to take our top cloth here, right click, assign new material, Lambert. Let's make that I don't know, red, and then bring that down a bit, something like that. And we'll take that, right click, assign new material, Lambert, and let's make that white-ish. All right. So one other thing I'd like to do just quickly is put a flag up here. Okay, so we see what the wind's doing. So we're going to take a simple polygon plane, something like that. Okay, we're going to pull that up. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that by 90 degrees, like so. And we're going to add some subdivision to it. Like I said, really important. Let's do 20 by 20. Okay, and let's get this thing in place. Okay, so we're going to hit W, and we're going to move that up here. And obviously, we need to scale it down quite a bit. So we're going to hit R. We're going to scale it down, down, down. Hit W again. Move it up. We'll make it a bit bigger. That's kind of small. Yeah, something like that. W. Okay. Move it into position. So from that point, it looks okay. Let's check it from this angle. Hit F to zoom in. We need to bring that in like so. All right. So now that we got that in place, we're going to hit F. We are going to create an nCloth. So we have our object selected. We're going to go to nMesh, create nCloth. We're going to select it again. We're going to go to fields. We're going to select gravity. We're going to select it again. We're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode, and we need to hit the translate values for these. So for not that one, vertex. That's right, guys. Come on, object mode. There we go. Right click vertex and drag, select these at the end. Almost got all of them. There we go. Go up to and constraint and transform. All right, back to our perspective view. Hit 5 for shaded mode. And let's throw on a color for our little flag here. Select it, right click, assign the material. And we're going to go with Lambert, and we're going to select the color red. All right. So if I didn't forget anything, we should have the basic setup to start our animation. Okay. I'm going to go to my animation slider here, and I'm going to add 500 frames like that. Make sure we're at frame number 1, and let's just hit start and see what happens. Okay. It's kind of going a bit slow, as you can see, right? You can see the flag is coming down, the cloth is coming down quite a bit, and we still have some problems to fix. Now, the top here, as far as interacting with the frame, isn't too bad, but as you can see, the fabric is too soft. Okay, so we're going to fix that. So we're going to hit stop. We're going to go back to our start. We're going to select all our fabric, and we're going to go to the nCloth shape tab here. We're going to go to presets, and let's select something that is very stiff and strong. Let's say heavy denim. Okay, and we're going to hit replace. Now let's see if we see any difference. we got our playback at 1, okay? We're going to hit play again. Okay, now the problem with heavy denim is that it's heavy, obviously, right? And there's a certain tear strength that you need to deal with, right? Here it's a bit better, okay? What we can do up here is that we add some additional transform values. Now, all in all, it's not terrible as far as effect is concerned. What we can do to make sure that this cloth doesn't fall down more is that we select another row of vertices and we fix them, okay? So stop, go back to our start. What we'll do is we'll go to this view here. Now, we had that one fixed and that one fixed. So let's select a row in the middle somewhere. Let's say here. So we're going to select this guy, right click, go to vertex. We're going to drag select these two here and constraint and transform. Back to our perspective view. And let's give that another try. Okay, let's see if there's a difference. Back to frame 1. Okay, now it looks like a 2-tier kind of setup. So it already improved a little bit. Okay. And maybe we can do one more up there. So we're going to go back to our start frame. And we're going to select this guy, right click vertex. Let's do one up here. Something like that. Make sure I got all of them. There we go. And constraint transform. So we got one there, two there, two there, and one there. Okay. Back to frame 1. Let's hit play again. You can see that the fabric on the walls here, it's kind of reacting, not so much as it did before. So that's pretty cool. This is starting to look like fabric, and it's not, going all the way down. And our flag has pretty much no activity right now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop that. We're going to go back to frame 1. And let's see if we can tweak the setting a little bit, okay? Now, one of the things you see here is wind speed in our nucleus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the wind speed to, let's say, 1, all right? And we're going to replay our animation. Let's see if there's a lot going on. Now, our flag is still coming down. Now what we can actually do just for now is I'm just going to hit stop here, go back to frame 1. If we do this in wireframe mode, let's see if we still got the same effect here. That will make our animation a lot quicker. Let's give it a try. It's not even that big of a difference. Okay, that's fine. Stop that. Go back to 1. Hit 5 for shaded mode. Okay, so let's go back to our wind speed and so forth. Okay. Now let's increase our wind speed to, let's say, 5. All right. And now give it a try. Okay, what you see now is that the flag is rotating somewhat, right? And I'll show you. It's hard to rotate around during the animation. But the problem is, for the flag, we chose heavy denim, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this. We're going to go back to 1. We're going to select just a flag. We're going to go to the nCloth shape, go to presets, and let's go with silk, okay? And hit replace. Let's see if we have any difference in that, okay? We're going to hit, I'm just going to go back so we can see our front door. There we go. And we're going to hit play. Okay, already up here you can see the effect of the wind. Okay, let's bump that up a little bit. We're going to stop, we're going to go back to 1, we're going to go to our nucleus. Let's increase our wind to 10. And we're going to increase the wind density to, let's say, 3. All right, go back to frame 1, let's hit that. We'll just let that play out a few frames. Okay, you can see that the flag is acting a bit different. Go back to 1. Let's crank that way, way up. Wind speed 50. Okay, hit play. As you can see, the whole tent is going nuts, right? The flag is, pretty much horizontal right now. It's really reacting to the wind. Okay, and now based on the attributes of the material, I'll show you what happens when you change the fabric and you increase the wind. Okay, so let's go down here. Okay, just check a couple of settings here. All right. Okay, so we're going to select this fabric and that fabric. We're going to go back to our presets and let's go with, I don't know, a t-shirt and hit replace. Now you're going to see a total different effect here. We're going to go to frame 1. We're going to hit play. Okay. As you can see, the reaction is very, very different. It's kind of losing its shape, right? We're going to stop that, go back to frame 1. We're going to go to our nucleus, and we are going to where is it? Let's see what happens if we go nuts with the wind speed. 200. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, well, as you can see, that is, just wrecking the whole thing, all right? And actually what you see is it's tearing up our flag and stretching it out. Now, I'll just hit escape here. The whole point of this is to understand the dynamics of the fabric that you're using and the effect of the wind on it. Okay, so I'll just go back and just change that back into heavy denim. Replace. This guy is still silk. There we go. We're going to bring the wind speed down to, let's say, 50. And I also want to show you that you're able to change the wind direction. Okay, so we're going to hit play. And while that is playing out, and again, we still have very, very strong wind. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to change this value to 2. Now keep an eye on the flag. It's starting to change direction. See that? And I'll increase that value again so you can see it even better. Okay, very strong direction that way, right? Now let's change this back to 1 and let's change that to 10. There we go. And watch how that plays out. And again, you can see that the flag is moving. Okay, so just to summarize this tutorial, right? Just to go back to the beginning. When you want to use nCloth in a situation like this, you need to have the objects that are acting with the cloth to be set up as a passive collider, okay? So nmesh and create passive collider. Otherwise, your cloth will interact and go straight through your frame, and that's what you don't want, okay? Second, you need to set up materials like this, and this. So your cloth make sure they have enough subdivisions. If you create an object that has, just one big face and no subdivisions, it's not going to interact. So that's really important. Don't bump it up too high because your system will slow down or even, crash. Okay. So set up the nCloth by going to nMesh in your nDynamics menu, nMesh, and create nCloth, right? Next thing you need to do is you need to apply gravity. So when you have set these up as nCloth, go to Fields and select Gravity. That will allow them to, want to fall down to the floor and react as a normal situation, right? Now, last important thing is you need to give it some constraints or restrictions. So what we did is we selected these objects and we said, okay, I want the fabric to stay in place in this area and down here, right? And up here where the flag is. So for that, you select a row of vertices in your now nCloth, right? You select them and then you go to nConstraint and transform. That holds these vertices in place, which will allow them to stay where they are, okay? Last thing that I want to tell you is, okay, so we did that. If you select the materials and you go to the nCloth shape in your attribute editor, you have the ability to select presets, and in these presets you can kind of choose how you want your fabric to react. Do you want it to be very smooth and have it react with the wind, or do you want to have, for example, heavy denim, right? That's pretty much in short what this tutorial is about. Hopefully it was helpful. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time.